Hi guys, we are on a trip to the Blue Mountains today and I'm going to take you along with us, showing you the best spots you just can't miss, how to best plan a day trip there and how much time you will need. The Blue Mountains are located just outside of Sydney, about 1.5 hours journey by car or 2 hours by train. We went by car today, but if you don't drive, you're still able to get there by taking the train. I've taken the train before and the journey is super easy. You can just tap on and off with your Opal card and take the train directly from Central to Katoomba. It's literally called the Blue Mountain Train Link Line, so you really can't miss it. The train leaves about every 30 minutes to 2 hours, so just check the train schedule in advance. We ended up staying 2 half days there, so not 2.5 days, just 2 half days. So we got there one midday and then we left the next midday. You could probably squeeze everything into a day, but considering how much bushwalking we did, you might prefer to stay overnight just as we did. We arrived in the Blue Mountains at about 1 in the afternoon and we started right off with the nature trek. The nature trek, which is literally called just that, is a 3.3 kilometer circuit trek that follows the valleys of the waters and takes about 1.5 and 2 hours to complete. So we took about 2 hours, just under 2 hours, and it's such a beautiful trek. You get to see so many gorgeous plants, animals, incredible views at the cliffs, little creeks and waterfalls. Our cars were burning the next day, but honestly it was so worth it. We had a little lunch in Katoomba and then we drove to the Govard Sleep Lookout, which is a beautiful place to visit towards the end of the day. We did a little 50-minute walk to the lookout point, which I think was worth it, but definitely it's pretty steep to go down and you have to go down a lot of stairs. So if you have already done a lot of walking that day, just as we did, then those stairs will definitely make your legs burn quite a bit. The sunset was gorgeous though, and you really can see why they're called the Blue Mountains. We stayed overnight in Katoomba, and because I joined the trip last minute, I couldn't join my friends on the Airbnb, but that was totally fine because I stayed at the Katoomba YHA, which for a dorm room was about $33 per night, and I think that's super affordable, and honestly the place was super fine, especially if it's just for a night. The YHA is a great option if you come by train as well, because it's in walking distance from the train station in Katoomba. My friends booked an Airbnb, so if you prefer that, which I believe was about $150 to $200 Australian dollar per night, so a bit more expensive, but the cabin was incredibly beautiful, and I think it would also be a great choice if you are on a romantic little getaway or come with a partner and don't necessarily want to go for a dorm room. A car would be necessary though, because even though it's only like a 5-minute drive from Katoomba, it would have been a 1 hour walk, so that's quite far, at least the Airbnb that my friends booked. On the second day, we went to the infamous Echo Point Lookout to see the Three Sisters rock formation, and you can follow a very easy 10-minute trek down to see them from more up close. And the Three Sisters are very meaningful in Aboriginal culture, so they're a must-see if you come to the Blue Mountains. We finished off our trip with probably the most visited attraction in the Blue Mountains, which is the Wentworth Falls. So if you look up the Blue Mountains, you'll probably hear something about the Wentworth Falls. They're these massive, super impressive waterfalls. So definitely make sure to plan your trip on a sunny day though, because the first time I came here with my friends, it was super foggy and we couldn't see anything at all. We stayed a really nice day, but just make sure you plan it on a sunny day. but we were in luck this time. So from the car park you can follow the trek down to the waterfall, and the full trek is quite long, but we just did a section of it, which worked for us honestly, because our legs were still aching from the day before. And you just get to see the most beautiful view of the waterfall if you walk down that trek, which honestly, I've seen so many waterfalls in my life, but this was truly magical to see how the sun was reflected in the water, and it almost seems to fall down in slow motion. So that's definitely a highlight of the trip. And that was all of our road trip. We ended up heading up north towards the Hunter Valley, but if you just come for a day or two, you can just take the train or car back to Sydney and get back home in the late afternoon of your second day. So I would personally recommend to come in the morning of day one and then do some stuff in the afternoon, stay overnight, do a bit more on your second day, and then return to Sydney in the afternoon. I hope this video is helpful to some of you. If so, feel free to give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you in my next vlog. Bye!